Hi airgun lovers and welcome to Airguns for All channel. Umarex went crazy recently with lots of different Glock models, Glock series of Airsoft and airguns, and maybe the most popular among them and maybe the most popular airgun of the world today is Glock 17, and it's fifth generation of this airsoft or airgun. This is what we have in front of us, so we will start with the unboxing. First of all, let me tell you that for the sake of consistency of the reviews and tests I will be performing, all of them will be done in similar manner like this. First we will do unboxing, if of course there's some kind of box that I have with my airgun. The second part will be feel, quality of materials and external walkthrough that I will go in detail with you, and then we will proceed with chrono tests to see the performance of the airgun or airsoft gun. And the last part will be shooting tests, where we will see the accuracy of the gun and how it performs. Along with chrono tests, in that third part I will do the testing of how much rounds you can fire by one load of CO2 or green gas or whatever is the thing that powers the airgun. So let's proceed with the unboxing. First of all, let's check the box. It's a very modest box like this, as you can see, a bit too small for my taste. I prefer hard cases instead of these boxes, but you can get some deluxe version of this gun, and it is quite pricey because of the box, so it's not important. You can unbox it and forget about the box at all. Here are some specifications. As you can see, Glock 17, caliber 6mm airsoft gun, Generation 5. It's licensed by Glock, produced by Umarex. It's powered by CO2, 12-gram cartridges. Energy is 2 joules, which is really good for a airsoft gun. It has blowback action. You can fire up to 14 rounds in the magazine. It has metal slide, metal barrel, semi-automatic, 6mm airsoft BBs, and it is authentic replica. So that's about the box. From other sides, nothing important, so let's see what's inside. And here it is, the Glock 17 Gen 5. As you can see in the box, you only get pistol, you get your instructions, and you get, let me just find it, a little key for loading CO2 cartridges in your airgun. So what about the quality and of the materials and the design? I'm not such a big fan of any of the manufacturers of the handguns, so I don't prefer any of them. I'm just looking every gun separately in terms of quality and design. I know there are a lot of people there who get a boner every time they see a Glock, let alone firing from it or owning it, so I can understand that, but I'm not one of them. This gun looks nice, if I can say, but nothing that much of a perfection for me. The frame is polymer down there, as you can see, and the slide is metal. It's not that heavy. it's around mid-sized in terms of dimensions and heft. So it's something I also don't prefer that much. I like heavier pistols that fit better in my hand, although this Glock fits very nicely in my hand, even though it's not that heavy. So here's the left side of the gun. You have some original markings that are the same as the original 9mm handgun, Glock 17. You have the slide that goes like this, not full recoil operation, and you can release it here. If you heard that, I just don't like that sound. When you release, it sounds like metal bucket hitting somewhere, and it has some echo to it, which I don't like, but that's how it's made. You have the standard Glock-like trigger with a safety on it, and there's a button to release the magazine, which is full-sized magazine that can hold up to 14 BBs and CO2 cartridge, as you can see, but we will see it a bit later on. So that's left side of the gun. Here's the right side of the gun. As you can see, this lock for the slide is not operational. On this side, it's just molded into the polymer frame. You have a barrel ejector here, as you can see. So you cannot release the slide from this side, so it's not ambidextrous. You have to do it here. And from the left side, you don't get anything interesting that much. As you can see, some other marks here, and that's it. From the front, you can see that the barrel is recessed, so it looks like it's a real 9mm handgun, even though it's a 6mm handgun. From the back, as you can see, here are sights with clear white marks, which is good, although I should mention that the sights are not adjustable, they are fixed. Both back and front sight are fixed. So it's standard Glock design, nothing to rave about. You may like it or dislike it, many people like it, of course. Here you have additional safety lock, which is more important than this trigger lock, I could say. When it's white, it means that it's locked. You cannot pull the trigger at all. And when you switch it to red, which is not that easily done, you have to use your nails. Now it's in red. You can fire the gun, as you can see. So that's about the exterior. One more thing that I should mention is, although every gun with a slide that has a blowback action or recoil action has some sound when you move it around, this one has a really loud sound, metal sound, which is a bit more than I expected. I will now compare it to some other guns that I have, so you can see. For example, here is another Glock-like pistol. It's Beretta APX, also blowback operation, recoil. Here is the sound of the Beretta. Much less movement and not that much of a metal high high frequency sound. And this is one of my favorites. Let me just get it, it's a bit further away. Here it is. It's Shadow CZ Shadow 2. It has also blowback operation. Now it's locked, sorry, as you can see, and full blowback operation, and it doesn't sound at all like when you shake it. Almost no sound. It makes almost no sound if you can hear it. But when you do the recoil operation, as you can see, great sound. It makes great sound, and I think it's better made, even though it's different manufacturer. This is ASG Action Sport Games, and these two are made by Umarex. I will move them closer to the mic so you can see the sound that I'm talking about. This is the sound of the Glock 17. This is the sound of the Beretta APX, similar but lower, and this is the sound of the CZ Shadow 2, almost nothing. So that's the comparison, and that's the exterior. Now let's proceed with a loading of CO2 magazine and doing the chrono tests. So before performing the chrono tests, I will just show you how to load CO2 magazine. Before I load the CO2 cartridge, not magazine, into the magazine. So before I loaded the CO2 cartridge, I already loaded the BBs, 14 of them. Although I should have probably done it afterwards. Let's see, will they fall out? You load them by locking the follower down here and then loading them through the hole at the top of the magazine. So to load the CO2 cartridge, you first remove this butt of the magazine, and here is the place for your Allen or hex key. So you load the cartridge. First you have to unscrew this thing with the provided tool. Just a moment. Here it is. Okay, this is the first time I do it. I haven't used this airsoft gun before, so excuse me for being a bit clumsy with it. Now it's in, and yeah, it's tightened. Okay, and you just put it inside and you are ready to shoot. And now we will perform the chrono tests. So the chronograph is set. If you want to see my unboxing and a little review of this Airsoft 6000, check the card that will appear above this video. For the sake of being easier to count, I will fire 10 rounds out of this magazine instead of full 14 rounds that it has. So we will see the performance. Let's start. One. I got 1045 feet per second, which has to be wrong. Let's continue. Two, three, 4, 5. Now that's more like it. This one, it just missed this one. Let's fire another one. It's empty. So I don't know why this chronograph didn't catch all the rounds, but if we don't count this maximum, which is obviously a mistake, we are somewhere around 350 or 360, which is around 1.2 joules, 1.2, 1.5 joules. Now I will reload the magazine and continue until it's empty. Now in the first series we fired off the whole magazine, so 14 rounds. And we'll continue counting. Now I fill the magazine with another 10 rounds. So until now we have 14. (15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and again it's empty. I will reload it again and continue. So we stopped at 24 rounds. Let's continue. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. It's empty again. Let's reload. Now we continue from 34 with another 10. I will continue reloading until we lose recoil operation and airsoft gun stops with its blowback action. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. We continue at 44. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. It seems that I loaded 11, so we're at 55 and I will reload. So we're continuing from 55. 56, 57, 58, that must be a mistake, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. I can feel in my hand that we are losing the power of the blowback operation, so we're close to an end. Let's reload again. We stopped at 60. So we're continuing from 65. 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. It locked. I don't know why. 71, 72, 73, 74, we are almost empty. 75, it locked again. So about 75. There's no need to reload it again because we almost lost the power. The slide operates still, and we haven't been losing too much of speed and power, which is excellent result. Let me just check some average values. So we're above 350 feet per second, which is excellent result. And as you could see, we have fired successfully 75 rounds with very strong blowback action that this pistol has, which is pretty good result. There were some misfires along the way, so you can add about 15 or 20 successful firing to this result. So now let's move on to the most fun part, checking the accuracy of this very nice handgun Glock 17 Gen 5. I set up the target, as you can see. I will fire off, just let me check, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I need one more round to load. Yeah, it's in. So 10 rounds. I will be shooting into the chest of this target. For your reference, the chest target, where it says 5 times, is about 2 centimeters in diameter, so it's less than an inch. I will be shooting from about 5 meters, which is about 15 feet. This is the first time I'm shooting with this handgun, so I don't know will I be getting some good or bad results, but we will see. Let's start and check out. Two, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We emptied the magazine. Let's check the results. So, as you can see, we got a grouping to the left, so it has windage, it shoots to the left, it's not centered right out of the box, but the grouping is quite fine, about 4 centimeters, which is an inch and a half, I suppose. So it's not bad. It's the first time I'm shooting this gun, so some of the misses of that center part of the target were perhaps my mistake and not the mistake of the gun. So that's about accuracy. So, what are my final thoughts and conclusions about this Glock 17 Gen 5 Airsoft gun? Well, in terms of design, you either like it or not. I don't prefer Glock designs because they are too square for me, they are too simple. You don't see the hammer, which I like to see. Action of the hammer is quite nice thing to see. There's a lot of polymer. The weight of the gun is less than I prefer, but it's not badly made. Of course, it's well made, but I've seen better made air guns, of course. This is one of the middle class in terms of quality and how it's made. So what are the pros and cons? It's excellent in shooting experience. Blowback action is very, very good. One of the best I have ever experienced. It's very realistic, very heavy and hard. It really kicks you back. And considering that blowback operation, it's very strange to that it performs that well in terms of CO2 cartridge, and that it can fire more than 70 shots with that hard and heavy blowback operation. So it's very well in terms of shooting experience, one of the best I have shot up until today. Other good stuff, well, it's Glock, it's 5th generation, so it's improving from generation to generation. And the most positive experience for me was the shooting experience. It really is nice shooting with it. So what are the cons? If you put aside that design that you can like or dislike, the major con is that sights are not adjustable. As you saw, it was shooting to the left a bit, and it would be very nice to adjust the rear sight for windage. That's the main issue I'm concerned about with this handgun, because it's not centered right out from the box, as you saw. Although it was maybe 10 or 20% my mistake and not the mistake of this handgun. The other thing that I'm not so satisfied about is the weight of the gun, but it's personal preference. I like guns that are between 800 grams and 1 kilo to 100 grams, which are, well, pretty heavier than this one. So one thing I should tell you about: when you put CO2 cartridge in this magazine, then magazine itself with cartridge is, I think, the same heft as the gun itself. Maybe even the gun is lighter. So it's not something I can say is a good thing, but people might like it because it's easier to handle, it's easier to carry and stuff like that. So these are my conclusions about this handgun. Should you buy it? Well, if you like Glocks, of course. I bought it because I don't have any Glocks yet, but I will certainly have a few more of them. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. There will be more tests and reviews like this one. The other guns that you saw in this video will be reviewed in Italy too. You can check the review of the CZ Shadow 2 already, because I have done it. I will complete it with accuracy and shooting tests. And until next time, thank you for watching and bye bye.